Hello guys, good afternoon. You welcome to my YouTube channel. And please, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'm begging you, please kindly click on the subscribe button on your YouTube page. And please do well to like this video. You can as well share, and even when you feel it's necessary, kindly drop a comment in the comment section. All right, so briefly making an illustration based on demands of some of my students, an explanation of how the fundamental analysis works. All right, first of all, I want you to understand the the idea of currency pairs. Let's take this major pairs for instance. We have EU Euro USD. You can see it here: EU Euro USD, GU Pounds USD. We have UC EJ, UC UJ. These are the major pairs. Now I'll be doing a case study with USD Canadian dollar just to explain what I want to explain in this video. All right, so you should understand that for each pair there are always two currencies involved. One is always by the left hand side and one is by the right hand side. The currency by the left hand side is called the base currency, and the one by the right hand side is called the quote currency. So for instance, when a news, like I said, I'm going to be explaining about fundamental analysis, trading with the news. You need to understand this first of all before you can trade the news. You must understand and don't mix them up. Where is the base currency? For example, the EU. What is USD here? USD is the quote currency, it's the one by the right. The same USD in UC here is the base currency because it is by the left. Now, that is one. The next thing you should know is we have various forex news markets where people fetch news from, but the one I use, or one of the most popular ones traders use, is called forexfactory.com. You can just type that on your browser, forexfactory.com, and it will take you there. Now, I'm just going to make a practical illustration based on what happened today. Remember, the date might not be set to the current date. This is the calendar year. I tap on today's June 10th, 2022. I tap on it and it brings me this. I probably have done this even before now. I probably have done this in the morning earlier today before the news come out, so I will know where to position myself. Now, by 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time today, or West African time today, we had Canadian dollar on the news and we had US dollar on the news. Now, if you look at it, was a monthly CPI for the US dollar. And then what this means, when you come here, you tap on this box. Remember, I said in one of my past videos that any news that has this red box signal, it's a major news. That the more important ones. All these other yellow ones are not much important. This one here with what I don't know what color I should call this. It looks, I don't know, pinkish red or whatever it is. Yeah, it's a medium impact, but you see all those red colored news, they are the high impact news. Now, USD news today and Canadian dollar were high impact news. So I come here before time, I tap on this. When you tap on this before this time, you only see previous and forecast. The last month, okay, if I'm checking for Canadian dollar now, it was 0.3%. Forecast is 0.7%. That is, analysts forecasted that the data would rise, and what that means is employment has increased in Canada. And once employment increased in Canada, there will be more inflow of there will be more flow of currency flow. Things will go well. The economy is getting better, and once the economy is getting better, the 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 currency itself receives strength. And how does this affect you as a forex trader? Once any currency receives strength or is doing well, the currency is likely to be to go bullish on your trade. But let me make a practical illustration with US dollar. Like I said, coming here I saw this, but you have to wait. The forecast is just an assumption. The actual might not be close to what was forecasted. So don't be quick to make conclusions. Wait till 1:33. The news will always be released 3 minutes after the time. By 1:33, I came here today and then I just checked even without tapping it. I don't even need to tap to see what's there. You just see by the right side, you can see the actual 1% and the core CPI, monthly CPI as well. The actual was 0.6%. But what you should take note in the when the result comes out is the actual, is it written in color green or color red? If it is written in color red, it is a bad one. It's a bad news for the current for the economy of that country, and definitely a bad one for the currency. But in this case, looking at it, it's color green. That is, it is positive. So US dollar, the economy of US, US economy seems to be, how do I put it, doing well. Yeah, let's use that word. Seems to be doing well, and definitely that means US dollar has gained strength. Once you've gotten the news, you go back to your chart. Like I did something here. You go back to your chart. On getting back to your chart, you check. Like I made a practical illustration with a small account anyway. US dollar, Canadian dollar. Once you see that it has received strength, most peers where US dollar is the base currency are likely to be bullish. It keeps buying. Don't forget, as I said, you must know this base quote currency thing. Most currencies where US dollar was the base currency receive strength, and the reverse would happen to other pairs where US dollar was the quote currency. If you look at this one now, US dollar is by the right, it is the quote currency. It receives strength, but on any other pair where it is the quote currency, the other way round, it will go bearish. It will go bearish. And if you look at this, can you see seriously bearish? Look at this as well. US dollar um is also the quote currency. Can you see it has been bearish? And that is just that US. Okay, we've seen USD, Canadian dollar. That is the one I checked. Can you see it is bullish? So that is how this works. If you look at that news back, let me make one more illustration. If you look at the news again, Canadian dollar as well receives strength. So every pair, let me add some pairs for this explanation. Okay, forex major, Canadian dollar. I don't have Canadian dollar here. Okay, I think it should be in forex minor. Forex minor. All right, can see Canadian dollar, chef. I should have CJ, Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. Why am I not seeing that? Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. Okay, I really don't know why I'm not seeing that, but we can just make do with what we have. Forex micro, no. All right, so okay, yeah, I think this is what I'm looking for. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. Now, seeing that the news had a positive effect on the economy and on the currency, I'll be expecting Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, CJ, to go bullish because Canadian dollar here is the base currency. And let me see that. Okay. Now you can see that's at that period when the news happened, there was this, bullish momentum, but then I guess even before then it has been on a range. But after the news, it pushed price bullish a little, and then it has been ranging ever since. But I want you to understand that the effect of a news does not last forever. The effect of any news does not last forever. So most times when I want to trade strictly news, I make sure that 30, 40 pips, I'm done. Now if you look at this, I think I've gone about 30 pips already, and now it's already beginning to range. So from my experience with fundamental analysis, the effect of any news does not always last for so long. It just lasts for probably an hour, sometimes just 2 hours, 3 hours. And sometimes some news could be so strong that the effect could last for even for more than one day, especially those news that has to do with statements, FOMC speech, anything relating to FOMC, anything statement on your calendar. Those are the news that they last longer. But all these currency news, they don't last much. So most times I just leave my I just put my TP for like 30 pips, maximum 40. I entered at 1.2760, and I'm exactly at 30 pips already. Can see this was 40. I think that already gone 50 pips already. That already gone 50 pips. Can you see after 50 pips the price started retracing down back to the downside, but I just left it for just to explain this video. So most times when I trade the news, maximum 40 pips, I'm done. I get out of it because after that effect, the price can just reverse. There might be a reverse, and there are times whereby we have what we call spike. Spike happens when you see a very long candle, a very exceptionally long candle, such as this one. Yeah, it happens most times. It happens as effect of the news. It happens as well. And many a times when a candle like this forms, expect that price would always reverse somehow, someday, sometimes soon. It will always reverse. Now, if you look at this particular one here, let me bring it down. The news was somewhere here. Okay, news. I think the effect of the news came and then brought price down to this point, and then price range around the support line. It went low, and then finally it came back up. Feel we call it imbalance, but that is not a lesson for this video. So that is just how this thing works. Understand your base currency, your quote currency. When it's time for the news, check the news, and just enter your position. And 40 pips maximum. You don't have to be greedy. You're out. And you should also be careful to use stop loss. I'm not using stop loss because I just opened this position to explain this video. Always be sure to use your stop loss, because at times manipulation could happen even when a news comes out, and from the effect of from the outcome of the news, the price is expected to go bullish. Mysteriously, market makers could just manipulate things, and then the price will start going bearish, heavily bearish, and then you'll find yourself on loss. So it's always good to still hold on to your stop loss while trading the news, because news trading is actually very risky. It's very risky, but most times it's always accurate. Like I said, don't be greedy. 40 pips maximum. Just opt out of the market. So I hope you've gotten the scope behind trading with the news. Once again, if you have any, be free to drop your comments in the comment section. Thank you very much.